Hi, my name's Duncan. I'm from Staffordshire Wildlife Trust as part of the Wilder Stoke Wilder Newcastle project. And today I'm here to talk to you about ponds. So here we have two small ponds. These are based on an urban allotment patch. Ponds are a great wildlife habitat, not just for creatures that live within the water, but also for land-based creatures as well. And a lot of the time when people think of ponds, they think they need a giant, huge pond. You don't. A small pond or a couple of small ponds is ideal for wildlife, and you'll get a great diversity of wildlife utilising your pond. Now, ponds do require a bit of work. So creation-wise, when you dig them out, it's best to do it about now, which is kind of end of September, October, because the soil is going to be relatively soft to dig out, and also you can leave it, once it's lined, to naturally fill with rainwater over the winter. Ideally, you don't want to be putting tap water in because it's quite nutrient rich. This time of year, autumn, is also a great time of year for any management or maintenance that you need to do. With ponds, we always want to avoid the amphibian breeding season, which kind of goes from spring through to late summer, depending on different species. But now is a perfect time to do any management because most of the creatures are either becoming dormant as we go into winter, or the young amphibians have already left. So these ones are perfect in the sense I've got a lot of vegetation in here. This is a natural process of ponds, is you will get a lot of vegetational build up. It's a good idea every year to take out at least a third of any living and also dead vegetation that's in the water. Now, we don't want to take this away and instantly compost it because there's still going to be a lot of mini beasts and creatures stuck in this pond weed. So we're going to take it out, put it at the side. What that enables it to do is for it to drain, so it's going to be easier to compost, but also any creature stuck inside can hopefully wiggle out and go back into the pond. When we think about pond creation as well, this one's ideal, is we always want to have one side at least that's got a gentle profile down into the pond, and that's to allow things like amphibians to easily get in and out of the pond, but also creatures that might accidentally fall in, so things like hedgehogs that are coming for a drink. And also you'll notice with these ponds, they're not in a barren landscape. Another good practice is to at least have one side of the pond with very tall, rough vegetation, which means there's plenty of cover for creatures going in and out of the pond. So again, thinking about amphibians. Also around the pond, we've got lots of places for different animals to hide. So we've got a mini beast shelter, we've got some log piles, and what this does is it creates ideal foraging habitat for amphibians. Another common question we get about ponds is fish. Now, if you want wildlife, it's best not to have fish in the pond because they will eat a lot of the invertebrates, which will impact the food chain. But also, if you get amphibians such as frogs, newts or toads, fish will naturally eat a lot of the tadpoles. So if you want it for purely wildlife interests, we would say don't put fish in. Looking at these ponds this year, there's a lot of duckweed. So that's definitely a management task for me, is to take out a lot of this duckweed, put it on the side, let it drain.